All right. First and foremost, give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Okakodash, the blindness to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well and who is worthy to be counted for the blinders. Peace and salutations to you brothers out there pushing this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and for love of the gospel. It's the brother Gabaria from the Indiana camp coming back at you again with another sit down. All right, and I'm gonna entitle this video "Stay Away from the World." All right. Um, there's no particular reason why I'm doing this. It's just it was on my spirit, and I'm trying to get more into doing in transit videos, but nevertheless, all right. So basically, when we say stay away from the world, man, we know we're we you have to have balance when it comes to that. Now we understand that certain brothers have family members that they were close to, that your mother, your father, or whatever. But you have to limit your time with those particular family members, man. All right, because you have to grasp the understanding that they're of the world. All right, and because they are of the world, that makes them your enemy. All right. Matter of fact, brother seen the movie Matrix. That's what they said, and that's what Morpheus told Neo. He said, if you are not one of us, you are one of them, and he was referring to an agent. All right, and it wasn't by happen chance or coincidence that he said you are an agent. Because what if you're and who are the modern day agents now, man? It's Esau Edom, man. He's trying to infiltrate and spy out our liberties, and guess what? He's going to use people that look like us to do that. So he might send, hey, if you ever watched that movie, Judas and the Black Messiah, it shows you that that guy was feeding the police information on the Black Panther movement. All right. Now, that movement wasn't of Yahweh Shai, it wasn't of the Lord, so it was gonna go down anyways. But nevertheless, we seen that movement was probably set up. First of all, it was prophecy, but that movement was probably set up because it probably showed us that, hey, look, Esau, a tactic of Esau, one of his how can I say, one of his skills or one of his crafty, cunning devices, to infiltrate certain organizations, or to pay off certain people to get information, to see what can we, what negative, how can we paint these guys in a negative light, So guess what, man? Guess what? You have to look at everybody that's not in this truth as a potential agent, man, because they can sell out. They'll give you up, because they don't have nothing to live for, if one of if you get one of your cousins or whatever get caught up, and he get put in the room, it could be one of your most loyal cousin, one of your cousins because guess what? They're still thinking that they have to, abide by a judicial system. No, when Esau actually let loose and start getting his hands on people, it's gonna be life or death. So yeah, your cousin, he'll have your back because he think he's just gonna go get thrown in jail for a couple of years or whatever. But what happens when they put his life on the line? Or they say, all right, well, we just gonna kill you. And he like, oh wait, what? You can't do that. And they're like, listen, hey, we can do whatever we want to do. And he'll bring up certain judicial laws and stuff, and they'll be like, what the, Then it's gonna be a whole different story. Then be like, hey, listen, I love my cousin and all, but I ain't willing to die for him. It's gonna be a whole different ball game. So here you spend all your time, your dedication to your cousin or to your family members, and they're gonna be the ones who give you up. And not to mention, and that's just a radical, that's an extreme, way of thinking. To be more close at home is also your cousins and your family don't believe in the truth, man. I was actually, matter of fact, it's crazy because I was actually just with a few of my family members I haven't seen in dinner 20 years, and being around them, I like being around them. I full fledged, I 100% see why the Lord separated me from my family, man. All my cousins, everybody, my aunties, and all, they're still doing with the same thing they're doing back when I left them 20 years ago, and I'm 30. So when I was like, what, 10, 11, all my cousins, all my older cousins, they still doing the same thing, partying, getting up with one another, living life, just drinking, smoking, Some of my cousins try to do the rap thing. You know, it's like this. Like it's almost like I never left. And I'm like, damn, none of y'all elevated. None of y'all actually, you know, they're still stuck in that mindset. You know, like none of them is really doing anything. I got a few cousins that was actually out making a few moves, doing, a little better in life. But the rest of my majority of, as a family, they're doing terrible, man. So I completely see why the Lord separated me from this, man, because I would have been right along with them, probably still living with my mama, yeah, smoking, drinking every fucking night, not really doing nothing, just living like a straight nigga, you know. So you being around your family members and partaking in that activity and that lifestyle is just going to bring you further down. You're supposed to be a man of the Lord. You're supposed to be a man of understanding, you know. Really, to be honest, the way they live is supposed to really vex you. Because I was there, I was kind of like, I mean, it's cool seeing y'all, whatever, but it ain't really nothing for us to really talk about. All they want to really talk about is drugs and music, and that's not really something I was really forced. Even when I was around them, it wasn't something I wasn't really about all the time. I mean, And then when I tell them about certain things, I had a couple cousins looking at me like, you ain't, who you think you think you better than us, and I'm like, no, I just don't do that. That's not my lifestyle. I don't. Because what we're like, you're supposed your light is supposed to shine forth, but between them, they seen a complete difference. They like, man, he's different. He don't, I had a couple older cousins, man, hey nephew, you don't smoke, you don't do this, you don't do that. I was like, nah, man. He was like, hey, you never smoked a day in your life, huh? I was like, nope, I didn't partake. I don't want to partake in none of that, man. I might drink occasionally, every so once in a while, but I even limit myself doing that. And, a couple cousins was like, all right, that's good, but other cousins like, you ain't perfect, you ain't, But the point I'm making is that you live a complete different lifestyle from your family or from your friends. See, they don't hold this the sincerity. They don't hold the seriousness of the scriptures the same degree as we do. They think it's just on God, on God, on God. That's how a nigga mindset is, man. You being a man of the Lord, you hold the scriptures and what the truth at a higher standard than them. They don't look at the scriptures. They don't look at the Bible as being their walks of life. They look at it more like a bystander thing. In their words, they got better things to do than to sit down and worship God all day. They don't put the truth. They don't put the Bible on the same level as you do. It's like a bystander to them. So you honoring the scriptures, honoring the way of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, honoring the statutes, laws, and commandments. You're supposed to limit yourself with them, man. You're not supposed to be up every day, kicking it with them, being around them, going to clubs and parties, and just BSing around, man. That's why you have older men in your camp to show you the example, man. See who get the couple, the heads of your camp. Whoever watched this video, ask the heads of your camp or observe the heads of your camp and see who they're around with majority of the time. Watch what they be around with brothers, other elders, doing a video, watching videos, watch how they spend their time. Probably going, going to the gym, working out, and if they do go out, it's probably most likely gonna be with brothers, So that's how you're supposed to model your life after, man. Not just lounging around with your family and just not like, again, I'm saying there's a balance to it. You can go see your family, check on them, talk to them a little once, but limit yourself with them. Limit yourself. You're not supposed to sit here and just indulge in your family 24/7. All right, or get up with your cousin, your brother, and he in the world, and yeah, but that's my brother, man. Yeah, but that's my cousin, man. That's my homie. It's like, yeah, but he in the world, man. Matter of fact, his lifestyle, the way he lives, is supposed to vex you anyways. I'm gonna give myself an example. I really don't have friends in the world, man. I have like maybe one friend I went to high school with, and I talk to him like probably three times a year. A couple, hey, what's going on? And when we do talk, we talk like 15 minutes, and then we go our separate ways. Majority of people I talk to on my day-to-day life is brothers. And my actual brother, which is, he's in the truth, I talk to him daily, but my actual brother is in the truth. He's in the know. And my actual father is in the truth. So those are part of my family members that I actually can talk to, you know. But then again, I have other brothers that I talk to, you know. I limit myself, and when I'm not around the brothers, guess what? I'm at the crib chilling, or doing a video, or studying, you know, or really by myself. Apostle Gabar had made a video. I forgot exactly which video he said, but he said, "Hey, when you come into this truth, you have to get comfortable being by yourself a lot. You know, you have to get comfortable with being by yourself. You're not finna be the life of the party every time. You're not finna be out and what Jake call it, turning up all the time, going out every Saturday and Sunday and every Friday night and every Saturday night. You know, turning up, getting with the gang, getting with the boys, hanging with the boys. You know, that's not what you were called in this truth to do. That's of the world. If you really want to do that, then go back into the world. You know, if you really want to live that lifestyle, if you want to partake in going to clubs and bars and parties every weekend, indulging in that, then just go back into the world, man. This truth ain't for you. You know, you were called to do a job, man, and by you, and part of that job is to be a set for an example for younger brothers to come in the truth. And guess what? If you're an older brother doing that, man, what the hell's wrong with you? You got older Jakes going out, club and partying. You know, guys who've been in the truth for probably 10 plus years, still trying to live that young lifestyle, man. Then they're pushing 40. That shit is pathetic, man. You know, that shit is absolutely and utterly pathetic. But that's all I really wanted to say. I mean, I didn't want to make this video too long. You know, usually when I do in transits, I just try to say what's on my spirit and keep it pushing. So, Lord will help this video is edifying. Until next time, shalom.